Hi, I'm back. Good morning. I haven't videotaped in the morning in quite some time, but I'm Jill. This is Copycat Crafts by Jill, and we're going to work on today a couple of coffin pockets. Coffins. um, I made one template, but it allows me to heighten or shorten whatever size I want. And last night I worked on these, and we're gonna make a couple today, and I'll show you how I did that. Here's the ones I've prepared, and this was my original template, and then I made one out of much sturdier cardstock, and that's what I used to cut all these out, and then I can decide how long or short I want the coffin. I also did make one with a rounded top. I didn't care for that one too much, so I'm just going to stick with this one, and I already prepared 3. These are all being made with, excuse me, Dark Manor Designs. Her shop is on Etsy. She is allowing me to play with this paper kit, and I'm really having fun. I've been working on quite a few projects, so this is also one I'm working on with her kit, which we will get to in a day or two. But I wanted to show these first, so let's get started. I already cut 3 coffins out. It doesn't really matter what's on the inside. The only time that might matter is if you want to put a hole or a window in, I should say, like this one or this one. For this one, honestly, I think I just traced this and cut it out with a scissor. This one, I used a square piece of cardstock. That's what I plan to do if we put a hole in one of these, which I want to put a hole. When I made my template, I did find that once I laid the template down, traced it, I couldn't flip and flop the sides because they wouldn't fit nicely on top of each other without lots of trimming, because my template was just hand drawn with, I mean, I used the ruler, but I wasn't totally mathematical with it. So if you already have a coffin design and you just want to trace it, make your own template with that, or if you're going to make one by hand, I found the easiest way is pick your paper, what side you want up, what side you want for the back, trace both pieces, cut both out, and you'll have them. But at any rate, I worked it out. So figured we could put a window in one, and I just wanted to see which one. I already have a window in that one like that, and I kind of have a window in one like that. So this one, it's the shortest, and I don't want a large window in it. I want a small window. Plus, these are the skulls I have. I saved these little ones for today because I was using a big giant one, which is okay, but I actually like the small ones better. And even though I do have a dark one, I think the skull would show better on the dark one. What y'all think? So we'll make that one one with the hole in it. So I want a square hole this time. I think it's easier for me to cut a square, and I'm just gonna dig through and see if I have anything I want to use. I think that would be too small. I may have to actually cut one out, which is fine. I'll use my actual cardboard if I can find it. Okay, here's my thick cardboard. So I'm just going to make, I'm going to start with 1 inch. Let's use a straight. So I'm going to start with 1 inch. If that's too big, we will trim it down. So here, and here, and I know everyone will wonder why I'm using this, but to be honest, I cannot cut a straight line. So I'm just using this. Because my cutter has the wire in it, so it allows me to follow the little line. Fiskars has them without the wire, I should say. I need the one with the wire. Oh, I got a piece of paper there. So let's get my scissors. Well, I could have just folded it in, but okay. And I just kind of put it where I want it. Even that doesn't look straight. I better do it from the inside. And you can decide where you want it. I don't want it up too high. Don't want it. But you put it anywhere you want, right? So let me make sure I'm in frame. So nice deep mark. If I'm doing a bigger section of cutout, a bigger cutout, I will actually cut it out on my Fiskar. But today, I know everyone that uses these, I still do a little better just to use scissors. So that's what I'm going to use, my scissors. I had a super tiny pair. They don't cut great, but they get in tiny spots. Probably got these at the Dollar Tree. Okay, I may need to bring it up closer to my face to get where I need to be. And again, I don't have to worry about being too particular, but oh, I probably could have rounded those inside corners a little. That might have made it a little cute. Hindsight, right? And if it comes out a little crooked, well, a little wonky, that's okay. All right. Now I'm using jet black. It's what I inked up everything, so I'm just going to ink that up. My ink pad's getting a little dry, and I have a new one. It's just I bought it like a year ago, maybe longer. So I'm worried that when I open that, it's going to be as dry or drier than this one. Okay, so that will go on that. This, I will put plastic, but you don't have to. You don't actually have to, but so that fits really pretty good. Now I have these. They are acetate. They came in a whole pack I found at my Goodwill, just like this. And they're super cute. I haven't had a whole lot of ways to use them, except now. So I've been sacrificing, I believe, 2 so far. But as you can see, there's quite a few. So what did I do with a little square piece? All right, cut another one. I'll find it later. But we'll cut another one. Just got to make sure it covers the hole. And it does. I usually use 2-sided tape, but to be honest, since this will be closed off, you're not really going to be using, nothing's going to be sliding past it. So I'm going to put that, just let that dry a little. Oh, that's the white mark. That's right, that's one of his other bones. And then this piece, you can decide where you want it. And you can either put a piece of 2-sided tape or glue him on. On the inside. When I did my other 2, I did put a little dot in the center so that I knew where I could sort of place his head, and I forgot to do that, but that's all right. That is no biggie. We're gonna just wing it. Do I want his head more straight? My other 2 are crooked, so I put at an angle. So that's good. Just gonna pick up the back of it and put them down. Doesn't have to be centered unless you feel you need to have them centered. Let's see if I can push them up a little. Oh, there we go, up a hair. Now before I glue this shut, I can decide. Oh, now I'm going too far. Oh, that's fine. I'm okay with that. No, I think I will try to pull them down a hair. There we go. Check it again. Now, what's going on? How can I go up a centimeter, down a centimeter, and every time? It's too high or too low. I'm splitting hairs. Okay, we're going to be good with that. But before I glue it together, I have these pieces, kind of like I used on this one. This one was one of these, and I ripped it in half and put half. This one, did I, yeah, I actually folded it over and put it on. This one, I also ripped in half. It was one piece, and I put the decorative pieces on, and I just put a little piece there. So I'm going to do the same with this. I have a piece like that I can either fold and cut in half. I have this one. put a half of this. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that. So I'm gonna, I think I will put in 2 little brads in. So I will pick them out. This will be the fun part, trying to watch me. I like the gold. I was going to say try to watch me work with brads because I end up dropping them and flipping them all over the place. So let's see. I'll mark these on the back just with about where. But again, you can be as precise as you want. Let's see if I can't find my little. Good enough. I will try to copy that. But okay. I will also use these because these little legs are a little too long. So I cut them one at a time. Get a better grip on it. I cut each leg one at a time because this is just a cheap little Walmart one. Fold it over. Cut that one. Fold it over. Push it down. Then what I like to do is give it a couple squeezes to dent it. Looks old and denty. All right. Number 2. Oh, got both on there. I think that when you cut them the same size, it's hard to split them. Okay. We dent it. Dent it. Okay. Let's see. Should have had 4 little legs. All right. Then I kind of want one for the front, and let's just, let's do it the right way. Let's do it the right way. Do we want it matching like this? Or do we want something? No. Different color. Let's just go with matching. Let's do that. So rip it because I'm not going to bend that one. Just going to give that raw edge now a little swipe. Okay. we want it maybe right about there. Yep. Whoop. Just cut that little piece off. Now, about down here. Go. We're gonna put whoop. Now we're gonna put this one over here, and you don't have to add this one. I'm not even sure why you won't even have to add it. Let's not add it for now. That way. Okay, I did kind of pick this one out. Now I like to glue this one on the back. That way, when you're trying to get into the pocket, you're not trying to go under it. You don't have to go under it. You just slide. It tells you right where the pocket is opened. I did one of mine and it was backwards, so and it confuses me. Now I'm constantly trying to stick the card in, or the card into the pocket. Let's see, where do we want it? Like it off a little bit. Just see if that's about. Yeah, let's straighten it out just a hair. And we can glue it together. Now, you can just glue it around here and have this whole thing open. Have the whole top open. If you're going to do that and you have a picture in it, or this, I would tape this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tape mine just for so. Just tape. That way the rough edge, or the rough edge of the tape can't get caught on anything. For me, it shouldn't get caught because I was going to say, I was going to glue it shut, but maybe now that will be I think my first one that I don't glue all the way shut. So, let me see where the tape is. Okay. So we have that tape, so that should be smooth sailing. So yeah, maybe this one. I'm just going to glue the top and the whole back side and the bottom, and the whole top will be open. On all the others, I've been trying to glue to here, and then that leaves that big of a pocket. I think I'm still going to do that only because I like the sturdiness. I don't want that not sturdy. So I'm gonna glue mine here, here. None of this will be open. None of this will get you won't be able to get into any of that. And then down here, but then just the thin line. This is going to be your pocket. There we go. Okay. Yep. There we go. Don't want to mush it in too up here I can, but all along here. Don't want to press too hard. Mush it. Okay. There's our first pocket. Now I'd also, where's the pocket? Here it is. I did a little collaging on it. You don't have to, you can leave it as is, and I'm going to leave it as is so that where I decide to use it, I can then put something on it if I want that matches. Let's do the short one. Okay. Now, even if you don't have a skull or an opening, okay. What do you think? Should we put another one in? I have to do it this way. So as you can see, you just pick where you want the pocket. You can put a big long pocket in if you had a whole skeleton, which if I'd had a whole skeleton, to be honest, these don't come with the paper kit. This was either from Tracy Fox, an old kit that I had for like 2 years. Tracy Fox or Vibe Vintage is an array of all this that I dug out that I had for like 2 years because I got it like 2 years ago. So I'm just using Halloween pieces that I have from other kits or wherever I picked it up at. I don't have any Tim Holtz Halloween things, so I don't buy a whole lot of Halloween things. But now for anyone who's good using this, you just cut it out with that. But honestly, I'm not. I honestly am not at all. So I always overcut too far, and it's just easier for me to get my little scissors in there somewhere. Okay. And even though it is a little particular here, and my eyesight is still not what it should be, so it's really hard for me to see these little thin lines, but we're gonna make do. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, close enough. Let's open our ink. Ink. This is the first time I'm actually using one of the sponge inkers. I usually use a felt, a round circle of felt that you use to protect your flooring from furniture. That's what I usually use. But okay, let's see. Okay, now this time we will mark about the center. Then I'll know where to glue. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. before I give them the final push. Just okay. This is what it is. That's where he wants to live. Perfect. Okay. Now we need a piece of our plastic. Okay, let's see. Again, it will have the white on it. I'm going to see if I can not have the white get its little self in there. Little dots. Okay. We are going to tape it. I like to tape the sides as well. Okay. And there it is. All right, now we can decide how we're gonna decorate it. Did have, let me see if I have a, I don't know, maybe, yeah, well, if I use that, I only have one of those colors. I don't know if I have any more that I can pull out quickly. So I may be stuck using what I have here right in front of me. My whole little collection of all these. That's blue. Here's a green one. I can dirty that one up. Okay, so that's the good side. See, my pad is so dry that I can actually do that. And there we go. There we go. And you don't have to put these little extra pieces on. Okay, do this one without. Out the brads. One and two. The brads do give it a little bling, but we don't have to bling them all. There, no. I can either look for another green one, I can put a different color on, I don't have to put anything on. I can even put something totally different on. I could put something like this on if I trimmed it. No. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I have to let my cat out. Okay, sorry about that. Dolly has her own room. We kid that she has her own room and we keep the door shut, so she has to bug us to go in her room and bug us to come out of her room. She's our shyest cat who likes just her time, just Dolly time by herself. So we allow that by giving her her own room, which now has become Dolly's room. So, okay, back to what we were doing. So I can use that. I actually like that. Okay, that's happening. That's gonna happen. Put that there. Get some glue. And put that on. I also dug out, oh, there's my square. I dug out some rub-ons, which I thought was kind of funny. And of course you always want the correct side up. So we're going to stick that on there before we glue it. Before we glue it together. I'm going to just put it there for now. Well, not for now. It's going to live there. That's where it wants to be. Okay. All right. What else do we want on there? Let's see. I also dug these out not only to use, but I don't know if I can fit that there and have room to glue it on. Let's see. Because this part would get glued on to this part, but I want the word to be able to be seen. We're going to try it. We're going to go for it. Try to put the word up as high as I can, and then in the future I can put a little string in there. Let's see, is that to try and give me as much room to glue. I don't need much. Don't need much at all. Okay. Whenever I use rub-ons, I always tap it with whatever color I'm using. I think it just gives it more of a... Okay. More of a, or I should say less of a rub-on look, and I like that. Okay. So right along the bottom here, that's what we're shooting for. And we're going to go right about here. So as long as I can see through those holes, I think I'll be all right. Like that. Then we can... I only have this piece of elastic right this second. That isn't what I want. See, I do have this. I'm going to use one of these. I have these, and they have purple string. Really thin string. So I'm going to look through my rub-ons just to see if there's another rub-on to the ticket. Let's use this one. Okay. Kind of centered there. And I'll put one of these through that, through the hole. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna do over, under, or whatever that is. Let's see if I can get this through that tiny little hole. We will get it through there, which we just may need to turn off the sound so you don't hear. Okay. Oh, did I pull it back out? No, there it is. So now, let's see. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. Okay, it's through. But it hangs the wrong way. Okay, I went through the wrong way. Went through the wrong way. So, although it works, it's not through the right way. I don't want it on that way. So, I'm going to remove it and go the opposite way. See if that helps. If it doesn't, I will figure out something different. Here we go. Skinny little, thin, I should say. Thin, tiny little things are not my forte. I always joke and say, believe me, I can tie my own shoes. I can, but actually I wear boots, so they zipper. Or pull on like shoe. Not because I can't tie it or knot it. Okay, what did I do? Okay. Whoop. Okay. Oh, nope. Didn't take. Didn't take. Whoop. I know everyone's probably screaming the 100-time easier way to do this. I wanted it to hang correctly, which is kind of that way. And I should have just looped it around and knotted it instead of putting it through itself. Oop. One little knot. Two little knot. Okay. That's enough of that. Oop, that's enough of that. All right. So now we have that. We have an extra one. Time to glue this on. So let's glue it. Again, I think I'm just going to glue from here all this, all that, and then just around the bottom edges and the side, or the bottom. Well, this would be the bottom, so that is the bottom. This is the side. Just gonna give it a little extra, but I don't believe it's gonna be going anywhere. Gonna line up the bottom a little bit and then scooge it up right where it needs to be. And there you have it. Now let me just show you. See, so that will be the pocket. Now this one, because I like the back, this could be a freestanding pocket. To slide in a pocket. The ones that I have that are perhaps not my favorite as a backing, because you can't write on it, you can actually glue this straight down onto something. You can glue that. You can, even if you glue around it. Is this the one yeah, this is, no, okay. You can glue it flat and just use behind it as a pocket and inside it as a pocket. Or if you have a larger piece, you can glue it down here and then make a very thin but long. You can make that a pocket, and this would still be a pocket. So if you should happen to make a mistake like I did, the inside of that is what I wanted for the back, but again, didn't work out right. So now we have that one, which can be glued down. We have this one, plain black. So you could even put just a like coffee dyed paper, so that somebody could journal on the back of it. Or you could do the same thing. You can glue it down and make the top a long thin pocket. Or in the back, if you just made the pocket like to here, you could glue all that down, and then you don't need a long journaling card, or more like a bookmarker. You could, you would glue it from here down, and you only need one that long, a shorter one. But if you did do all of it and left this whole spot open, you could do like a bookmarker for inside when you put in a signature and you want to bookmark it, you have one on hand. So keep that in mind. You're not limited to how to use these. Standalone, totally glued, partially glued, and glued in different ways to create another whole pocket. And I'm all about pockets. And this one we're going to leave more plain. I think I'm going to cut this one in half. I'm going to fold it in half first, actually. That way I get it fairly close. If I have to trim it, I will, but we'll just fold it. Ink a little, because we want the rough edges on, the worn edges, I should say. And we can put those like that. Now, I know I'm decorating them all the same, but that's just my taste. You don't have to put these things on it at all. You can do anything. It is your pocket. You can do anything your little heart desires. I like, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna use 3 brads, because I'm gonna put a brad on this side. You could, this is the sandable paper. Where's my little sander? I certainly want to mar it. I want it to look as old as the other pieces we're using. What you could do, I'm not sure if it would work out, but you could use a thin piece of fabric and glue it from one side to the other and do 3 or 4. Then you could hide the fabric with little ones like this if you needed to. But then you could actually open it. It would open like that. If you're going to do that, you have to be mindful of what you use on the inside, because that's what would be showing. So, but I thought that was a really cute idea. Just, I wanted to make them pockets this time. So that's what we're doing. All right, I can move this aside. I just must be careful. Let's get my, again, I think this is one of the few times I get to use the gold that it actually, whoop, okay, that's one for me to step on later. Always, it's always nice. All these already have the little holes, so I don't got to worry about that. Get out my little I usually try to make them a little difference in size so that my nail can get in there and separate them good. And if one is a little too long, we just nip it on out. You see how it's sticking out there? I'm just going to nip that one as well. Whoop. Like that. Okay, press it down. Press it down, down. Mar it. Done. I love these, all these little bits and bobs, which are from Vibe of Vintage. She has a kit that you print it out and then put it through your, you print it out and put it through a Cricut or Brother paper cutter thing, machine. I adore that kit. Now, if I'm afraid that it's going to go through, because my brads are extremely tiny, I have all of these. A huge thanks to Robin, who was so kind, and a huge thank you to Rosemary, who also was very generous and made me all these, which I cannot tell you how much that means to me, because I use these nonstop, constantly, on just about everything, because I like to reinforce the holes. For the earlier ones, since it's under no pressure of any kind, I didn't reinforce the back. But since these holes appear to be a tad bigger, I didn't want them coming through. Okay, I'm definitely having a problem today, because these are normally, for most people, no problem. But I am not most people. Okay. One more. Put it through. And trim. And trim. And push. Then we mar. We crinkle them up a little bit, give them a little dent in so they look like they've been banged around a little bit. There we go. Gonna glue these on. The other thing is actually we could do a pocket the opposite direction. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a pocket in the opposite direction. It's not all one directional. So this time we're going to have the opening on this side. And you'll be seeing these make a little bit of a comeback in my Halloween folio that I'm making. So okay, so now now how big do I want? Do I want it that big? I want it a little bit littler. Oop. I forget that I want this to be on straight, but the actual coffin is at an angle, so I'll probably just glue it where I want it and then trim off the excess because the side is at an angle. So we're going to kind of guesstimate. Press them all down. Tiny bit. And tiny bit more. Tiny bit. Okay. Okay. Get all these pieces out of the way so I'm not. Okay. There we go. What else do we have? We could cut that off. Put beware. Cut it. I have this one too. Which one looks better? This one. Okay, so just gonna cut it. Do we want it up here now? We don't have to worry about the back yet. Do we want it up here? Down a little bit? Yes, down a little bit. That's where we're going with it. Okay. Beware, eyeball everything, so everything's off the same crookedness. There's that other one. All right, now because we're going to have the opening on this side, we're going to need to do that. So, yes, just Just making sure, right? Measure twice, cut once. Well, we're going to go about up here. I want the word to stick out. Doesn't have to be in there too deep. So I'm going to be able to see the word. So just adjust it a little bit. There we go. Looking snazzy. Let's see. What else do we have over here? I don't know if I really want to put too much more on. Maybe just a little date to maybe it, I don't know. It's not that I hate it, but I'm not convinced. I'll have to feel the vibe on that one. I do have, not that, this. Let's just see if that actually might make a cute charm if I put a hole in there and do the same thing, which I may. I'll have to think about that. I wonder if that one would fit down there. You know what? Sometimes less is more, right? Less is more. Okay, so we're just gonna glue around the bottom, glue up the side, glue up this side. I was again gonna leave this little part open, but I just worried that might make it too flappy, if that makes sense. Just reinforcing. And let's lay it down. Get it pushed in place. Whoop. There we go. Pushed in place. And there we go. Now we have this pocket. Let me get rid of all this. Put that back in. I actually dug out a few from Jen at Dark Manor Designs. These are tags from her pumpkin pocket that I made the other day, and I just thought I'd dig some of them out just so you could kind of see what is what, and that if you got the pumpkin pocket, you got these, got all these, you can use any paper to make the coffins and still have things to put in your coffin pockets. So I thought that was right, a nice. So let's just move the chaos aside and let's see what we are left with. That one on the right side, opening on the left side. Let's to show you, opening on the left side, or on the right side. And let's dig out another little tag. just to show you. Obviously, I'm using little tags that I have sitting around, but it would look nice if you custom made a longer one, maybe with a pull on it. But these are the ones we made. So I hope you found this handy. If you do try this, make a template first, unless you have in a digital kit or something a template already, then you don't need that. You know what? Now this one looks a little bored. I'm going to put a little thing on that one, but I won't do that now. You see what we've made. Let me see. Can you see what we've made? Yes. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed it. In the meantime, go check out Dark Manor Designs on Etsy. This paper. These are her paper kit, which is, let me just dig some of them out, which is what I'm using here. It's all of these. Some incredible, really fun papers that I've just been having so much fun playing with. So go check out her Etsy shop, and I will link it. I will link the papers. Again, I had to make my own template to make these, but it's all the papers, and I'll link it in the description box below. In the meantime, stay creative and hugs.